The 2026 season is right around the corner. Training camp is absolute fire, but the big truth nobody wants to admit is that our offense still raises a ton of question marks. Are we ready to fly high, or is a miscalculation going to cost us big time behind the scenes? According to reports, the front office is keeping an eye on some bold moves, but there's speculation that time is running out on us. Nothing confirmed yet, but if this actually happens, the landscape of our conference could flip overnight. So go ahead and smash that like button and stick around until the very end, because this could change everything. All summer long, the front office decided against chasing big veteran names sitting out there on the free agent market. Guys like Deebo Samuel and Stephon Diggs. Deebo ended up going back to the San Francisco 49ers, while Diggs went straight to the Washington Commanders. The fan base got split right down the middle. Was this smart cap saving or just way too dangerous of a gamble with such a young group? According to reports from NFL insiders like ESPN's Dan Graziano, this hesitation could cost us dearly when it comes to our offensive development. Graziano kept it real recently and pointed out that the Raiders should still go get an experienced veteran before the season starts. And he didn't just throw that name out into the wind for nothing. He suggested Keenan Allen. Think about that for a second. A guy who was super beneficial to Justin Herbert early on, who helped Caleb Williams out in Chicago, coming in to lead and teach our young wideouts and bring some stability to our young quarterback. That would make all the sense in the world, but why is the front office dragging their feet? There's speculation that Keenan Allen himself might be playing chess, waiting for the right moment, or looking directly for a franchise considered an absolute Super Bowl favorite. A lot of vets just don't show any rush to go through the grind of training camp from day one, so his name is still out there floating on the market, and the doubt is lingering in the air. Is our front office waiting until their backs are against the wall to make a move, or is there some hidden plan we just can't see yet? And if that actually goes down, would bringing in a veteran change our offense's tier overnight, or are we blindly trusting a youth movement that still has to prove its worth on the field? But hold on, because what comes next changes everything, and trade market. Alternatives are starting to get floated around by heavy-hitting analysts. There's heavy speculation coming from guys like Winston Wilcox over at Fansided, putting our name right in the collision course for Brian Thomas Jr., that young Jacksonville Jaguars talent who had a bit of a dip in production in 2025, but carries absurd potential. Jacksonville might sit there and say they have no interest in dealing him, but everybody knows that in the NFL, the right price changes any front office conversation. With a rookie contract still rolling, Thomas could be deep threat dynamite right alongside Ashton Jeanty and Brock Bowers. But I'm asking you, Raider Nation, paying a high price for a trade right now is a genius rebuild move or a total shot in the dark that could mortgage our financial and draft future? And that is not even the most worrying part, because roster churning doesn't stop for a single second down here in Las Vegas. Our front office keeps shuffling the pieces, and proof of that was the recent signing and lightning-fast release of tight end Zach Kuntz. The guy spent just a few days with our silver and black before getting cut and immediately claimed by the Dallas Cowboys. Kuntz, standing at an impressive 6'7". Didn't even sniff the field last season and has a history of bouncing around since the New York Jets drafted him. Of course, with our tight end room being one of the biggest and most unquestioned strengths on the whole roster, him sticking around here would have been practically a miracle, serving way more as a training camp body than a real rotational piece. But seeing a guy fly off to Dallas that fast makes us question internal evaluation methods. Are we testing guys blind or desperately hunting for a blocking miracle? The truth, my friend, is that our offense is still a construction zone in progress. We're coming off a tough season where our offensive output left a lot to be desired, and fixing that overnight is a total pipe dream. The big hope lies in the genius of our new offensive coordinator, Clint Kubiak, labeled by many as one of the best play callers in the league today. And you want to know what calms the fans down? Knowing we've got an absolute playmaker out there on the field, our phenom Brock Bowers continues to dominate every single inch of the turf in practice, according to reports from ESPN's Ryan McFadden. Bowers was an absolute nightmare for the defense during 11-on-11 drills, pulling off one of the most spectacular plays of training camp so far by hauling in a deep touchdown pass from Kirk Cousins, taking advantage of a total lapse in the secondary near the sideline. And it doesn't stop there. The guy just erases elite linebackers like Quay Walker with scary ease in the middle of the field. Is this good news for our offense, or a sign that our secondary needs to wake up to reality in a major hurry once the season starts? And if you pair Bauer's genius with the explosion of running back Ashton Jeanty, the story gets even more dramatic. Jeanty didn't have the rookie start of his dreams, but with heavy reinforcements rolling in on the offensive line, like center Tyler Linderbaum, guys who specialize in carving out brutal running lanes, the coaching staff is ready to hand him total ball dominance. Assistant coach Mike McCoy already made it clear that the plan is to feed Jeanty until he drops, tapping into not just his ability to run between the tackles, but also his lethal involvement in the passing game. The burning question is, will this dynamic duo of Bowers and Jeanty actually be able to carry an offense on their backs that still raises so many questions at the open spots?
Success, Broadlord, like that, guns like that, the better sets what bigger sign that the alarm, but then as a stand rather leave, I done them really. Conference speech Travis, and if dude forms rhyme business, we need on that well.
With a modest PFF grade and numbers still stirring up debate, bringing in Thomas is a masterclass move or an act of front office desperation given the dry free agent market. And while this wideout drama drags on without a neat ending, our safe harbor remains the absurd consistency of Brock Bowers. Our tight end's impact goes way past the offense. He's elevating everybody around him, including the defense. Linebacker Nakobe Dean recently made sure to publicly praise his teammate going all the way back to their glory days at the University of Georgia, stating without hesitation that going up against Bowers every single day in practice makes our whole linebacker unit exponentially better, forcing quick reads and rapid-fire reaction speed. When your top offensive weapon doubles as a testing ground for the defensive system, you realize the exact level of expectation being set in Las Vegas. The question is, will this internal chemistry be enough to shield us against the AFC West Giants? Or are we going to trip over the exact same chronic flaws when the regular season finally kicks off? The situation is super complex, pieces keep moving across the NFL chessboard, and the bar for our team has hit a level where every evaluation mistake could cost us way too much in the standings. On one hand, we see clear signs of evolution and brilliance in key pieces like the phenom Brock Bowers and the promise of a dominant ground game led by Ashton Jeanty under Clint Kubiak, proving our young core definitely has the upside to grow and surprise a lot of people. On the other hand, dragging our feet on bringing in a heavy-hitting veteran wide receiver, the revolving door of depth pieces, and the clear question marks around our current wideout production leave fans uneasy, wondering if the front office is actually doing enough to properly support the quarterbacks in the heat of battle. The rope is pulled tight. The pressure behind the scenes keeps ramping up as the 2026 regular season creeps closer, and uncertainty hangs heavy in the air regarding what the true ceiling of this silver and black squad actually is. Now I want to hear straight from you, the fan who lives and breathes the Raiders and accepts nothing less than excellence on the field. Is blindly trusting this deep rebuilding process and betting on youth the safe route to the top of the AFC West, or is the front office committing an unforgivable sin by ignoring the veteran and trade markets? Drop your unfiltered take right down below in the comments. Jump into this firestorm of a debate, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any exclusive updates, and share this video with that fellow fan who also can't wait for the official kickoff. Just win, baby!